Today's meter demonstration video is going to be on the Canadian Sangamo Type S free watt-hour polyphase or free-phase meter. I'm not sure of the exact dates of manufacture of these meters. Sometime in the 1930s it would start off, and they were in use here in New Brunswick up until the 1960s. Now, these particular meters had two separate discs, but they drove a common register off a Labrador gear train, which I will show in a few minutes. This is the first meter, which is a metal covered version, and it's rated at 5 amps and 230 volts. Now, it's connected to a 120 volt source, and the two motor coils are wired in parallel over potential coils, and the two current coils are wired in series. Now, this is a particular metal covered version, and due to the fact that the primary voltage is cut in half, then you would have to double the current flux. I should say the primary flux is half. Then the current flux will have to be doubled in order to get the same speed from a 230 volt meter on 115 volts. Now, as I mentioned, this particular one is 5 amps at 230 volts. Now, if we move the camera over, then you will see a 5 amp 115 volt meter. This is still a Sangamo Type S free, only it has a glass cover instead of a metal cover. Now, as you can see, the disk speed is traveling just about twice as fast as the one on the left. Again, the potential coils are wired in parallel, and the current coils are wired in series. Now, all 4 current coils in this demonstration between the 2 meters are actually all wired in series, and the potential coils in the 4 elements of the 2 meters are wired in parallel. Now, the test dial, which is the small dial right here, measures in the tenths of a kilowatt hour. Now, one complete revolution of this test dial will go from 0 to 1 here. Now, these particular meters are the non-demand type, in that they don't have a maximum demand register. Now, I have other meters which are type ED30, and I also have the earlier ED frees, and they again have the 2 separate elements in them. The element is actually a Type S element, the same as in the Type S single phase meter, of which I have one metal covered one, but I haven't unearthed a glass covered one yet. They do exist, but I just haven't come into one as yet. Anyway, this is the 2 versions of this particular meter. Now, on the let's see if I can move the camera over. Actually, I'm pretty far away from the meter to show the side of it. Perhaps I can swing the demonstration panel out here somewhat. Though it's pretty hard to see the insides of a particular meter, because these things, the covers have got wax seals that are intact on them, and I'm not willing to cut the seals just to get inside for the purposes of a demonstration. You can pretty well see the insides. Now, I have a register for one of these types of meters that I previously removed from an incomplete meter that doesn't have a cover on it. Now, in the front, you can see it's pretty hard for me to hold that steady. Looks like I was squirting a hose instead of taking a picture. Anyway, you can see the take-up wheel for one disc here, and then the take-up wheel for the second disc over here. And if you look right in the face there, you can probably see a bit more detail of the gear. I realize there's a window behind there which doesn't help matters too much. But anyway, for the sake of this demonstration, you can see the very intricate gearing. Now here's the back of a register, again showing the two separate take-up gears. And this is a view from looking down at the top of a register. You don't see as much gearing in here because there's actually only the 4 gears that drive the pointers on the front. On the bottom, which is here, you can see the very, very detailed gearing that is involved in having 2 separate meter elements register on the common pointers. So, as in previous demonstrations, I again have used the 1300 watt incandescent lamp load. It's handy for all the videos, and for anyone that hasn't seen the previous 8, here again we have the 1300 watt load with the 1000 watt lamp to the left and the 300 watt lamp to the right. So again, we go back to the meter, and if you look at the small test dial, that lamp load is consumed just about 5/10 of, or 1/2 a kilowatt hour. Now, residential rates here in New Brunswick are 10.05 cents per kilowatt hour at the present time. These things were not used residentially, they were used in commercial and light industrial applications. Very light application because they have no maximum demand feature. Meters for heavier loads did have the maximum demand. Anyway, that's about all that I can really get into as far as the demonstration of the Type S free Polyphase. Again, we'll look over at the metal covered one, and you can see the 2 separate discs. Now they're both turning at exactly the same speed because the same load, as I mentioned previously, is going through all 4 of these elements between the 2 meters. So each disc is going to travel exactly the same speed. Now, if you had this thing in natural free-phase service, there could be some single-phase road running neutral off of one phase, which would cause one particular disc to go faster than the others, and this was most generally always the so-called B phase. In phasing, you had 3 colors, red, black, and blue, and the red was the A phase, and the black was the B phase, and blue was the C phase. Anyway, this is again our Type S3 Polyphase Sangamo. Is manufactured by Sangamo Canada Limited in Leaside, Ontario, Canada. And with that, I will conclude this video for this evening, and hope that you enjoyed seeing these old meters in operation. And again, thanks for your interest in watching these videos.